Hi, I'm Dr. Aimie. Welcome to this blog video. Today we're talking about healing the shame complex that occurs after attachment trauma. And we know that attachment trauma wires in this belief system that they aren't lovable, they aren't wanted, they don't belong, they're not worthy of even being cared for, and thus being, they deserve being abandoned. And this belief system gets wired into the brain, the emotional brain, as well as the nervous system, so that many situations in life throughout their lifetime, as long as they don't heal, will continue to trigger these feelings and this belief system and continue to just kind of re-traumatize them every time. So healing that shame complex and rewiring the brain in terms of those feelings that are caught up in the limbic system or the emotional brain are really important for truly healing someone from attachment disorder. And when we think of healing the shame complex, we think of building their self-esteem. That's a common phrase that's used. Oh, we just need to build their self-esteem. And this is true, and yet probably the most common way that people, professionals, teachers, parents think of building someone's self-esteem is just reinforcing this idea by telling them over and over again how special they are, how much we love them, that they are great people, they're wonderful, we like to be around them. And what happens is that the brain and the nervous system do not respond to the logical, verbal communication from other people. In order for healing to occur, they really have to internalize those messages as an experience. They have to experience it as a feeling, and then the rewiring of the brain and nervous system can occur. So if telling them is not going to work to get into the actual emotional brain, how do we heal their shame complex and build their self-esteem? And this is a really powerful tool, really fun tool when you get the hang of it. And it's just simply complimenting them in ways that are very specific. If we say things like, oh, I love you, what their brain does with that is, rather than tell the emotional brain, see, they love us, the emotional brain tells the logical brain, they just don't truly know us, or else they wouldn't love us. And so there's always this argument, there's always this rebuttal, and so it never gets internalized. So giving them specific compliments in terms of their choices and their behaviors kind of goes through the back door and sneaks around, and they're not able to argue because it's so specific that they start to feel better about themselves. They start to see themselves as people who can make good choices, who can contribute to the team, to the family, and do belong. So let's talk about what are some examples of specific compliments. Things like, you just tied your shoes in less than 2 minutes. That was fantastic. And that's, again, something very specific. They either tied their shoes in under 2 minutes or they didn't. It's not something that they can argue with and rebuttal in their brain and come up with, no, that's not true. Another example would be, I'm trying to think of examples that I've used with my kids before. You just sat quietly for 1 whole minute. That's amazing. I've never seen you do that before. You're getting stronger. And kind of associate that all with their choice, with their action of being able to sit quietly for 1 minute. Sometimes you do have to be that detailed and that specific in terms of, hey, my expectations of you, yes, are 5 minutes to be able to sit quietly, but you just did 1 minute for the first time ever. That's really awesome. Another example would be, you just ate your whole dinner without complaining once about the food. That's great. Or you just took your plate to the sink without being asked for. You just made your bed really nicely in under 2 minutes. I think you get the hint that it's something very specific that builds up their sense of, I can do something right. Maybe I'm not defective. maybe there's not something wrong with me. But yet if we were to just tell them, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, like, you're lovable, their brain could never internalize that. We have to go through the back door and give them some specific compliments to build their self-esteem on. So if you have examples of specific compliments that you've used in order to build them up in the early phase of their healing when they can't take internalized messages that are too general, too vague, like, I love you, I'd love to hear those, and I hope that you can share them with others so that we can all learn and grow together.